So, how we doing, family? It's your boy, Yo, and this is another episode of YoHoops. I go through every NBA game every day. Today's Thursday, February 26th, and we have a 10-game NBA card. I'm going to walk you through my thoughts and let you know which sides I like, so please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your favorite game in the comment section below. Without further ado, let me get into today's games. Recap yesterday, not at all how I saw it playing out. I went 1-5 on the 6-game card. You could really say I got swept considering I didn't love the line move in that Bucks and Cavs game, but I can't cry over spilled milk considering how hot I've been in the month of February. A losing day here or there is bound to happen. I'm now 82-60 on every game played this month, and I'll do my best to get us back in that win column tonight. They aren't making it easy. This is another tough card tonight, but I like a lot of my plays, so I'm still confident going in. In our first matchup of the evening, we have the Charlotte Hornets in Indiana taking on Indiana Pacers. Hornets are minus 750 on the money line, and the total is 229. I was impressed to see Charlotte go on that 9-game win streak a couple weeks ago, but they're now just 3-3 over their last 6 games. Definitely still impressive, but at the same time, we're seeing that they're beatable. Considering how banged up the Pacers are, I do expect Charlotte to win this game, but a few guys like Siakam and Nembhard are listed as questionable, so it is possible that they play. The last time these two teams faced off was on January 8th in Charlotte, and the Pacers won that game 114-112. LaMelo Ball had 33 points, and they still lost it outright. The Hornets offense has definitely improved since then, which is why I still think they win this game, but they don't play enough defense to win it by 14. I'm taking the Pacers plus the 13 as my first selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Miami Heat in Philadelphia taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers are minus 135 on the money line, and the total is 241. Tonight, I'm seeing Joel Embiid listed as probable, so we should see Philly with a slightly different starting lineup. We know both of these teams can score the rock, but the big difference for me is their defense. The Heat rank 5th in the league in defensive efficiency, while the Sixers rank just 15th. Miami comes into this one at full strength, so I think we see their defense on full display, but rather than taking a side, I'm playing the Sixers team total. Even if they win this game, I think it's set too high. I'm taking the Sixers under 121.5. The last time we saw these two teams play, the final score was 127-117 Heat, and the Sixers only average 116 points per game on the season. Against an elite defense like Miami, I think they stay under this total. In our next matchup, we have the Houston Rockets in Orlando taking on Orlando Magic. Rockets are minus 145 on the money line, and the total is 215.5. The Rockets come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, flying from Houston to Orlando. They got the dominant win over the Kings last night, but I was surprised to see a few of their guys play over 30 minutes. The Rockets have looked solid over their last few games, but if I'm being honest, I'm waiting for them to fall flat at any moment. KD's old, so he's not built for back-to-backs, and Amen Thompson's out, so we're basically relying on Sengun and Jabari Smith to get us a win over a Magic team that plays their best basketball at home. We've seen Orlando's offense start to click recently, winning 3 of their last 4. With the rest advantage, I see them keeping the momentum rolling. I'm taking the Magic plus the 3 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the San Antonio Spurs in Brooklyn taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Spurs are minus 625 on the money line, and the total is 224. The Spurs come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, flying from Toronto to Brooklyn. They beat the Raptors even though they failed to cover last night, so they're now on a 10-game winning streak. Wemby isn't built for high minutes, so I'm usually skeptical on the second leg of back-to-backs, but that being said, the Spurs are 8-3 against the spread on no rest this season. Watching the last few Nets games, to me, it looks like the wheels are starting to fall off. The Spurs probably win this one by 20. I'm taking the Spurs laying the 12.5 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Washington Wizards in Atlanta taking on Atlanta Hawks. Hawks are minus 525 on the money line, and the total is 233.5. We saw this same matchup on Tuesday, and the Hawks won that one 119-98. We cashed laying the points, but I see this one playing out a little different. The Hawks came into that one at full strength, but tonight, Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander, and Risa Shea are all listed as questionable. Of course, there's a chance all of them play, but knowing they probably win this game either way, I wouldn't be surprised if a few guys sit, even for rest. Definitely not one I'm rushing to the window with, but if I had to play it, I'm grabbing the points and praying for the back door. I'll lean to the Wizards plus the 11 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Portland Trailblazers in Chicago taking out Chicago Bulls. Blazers are minus 175 on the money line, and the total is 235. I have not liked what I've seen from the Bulls recently. They're currently on a 10-game losing streak, and if I'm being honest, I don't want to catch the falling knife. I like Josh Giddey, but past that, their entire starting lineup is mid. It only gets worse when I look at their bench. Trey Jones and Nick Richards aren't keeping me competitive against guys like Vic Krejci and Scoot Henderson. They do have to win a game at some point, so I am treading with caution, but in my mind, Portland's clearly the better team, even without Denny. I'm taking the Blazers laying the 4 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Sacramento Kings in Dallas taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs are minus 270 on the money line, and the total is 233.5. The Kings come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back. Not much travel, but they do fly from Houston to Dallas. This is probably my least favorite game on the board. I feel like you could flip a coin to decide who's going to win it. The Mavs have been playing the better basketball, but they still have 21 wins on the season and are playing through significant injury. I'd have to pass on a side either way, but I am looking at a prop. We've cashed with him plenty of times before, so you guys should know the name by now. I'm taking Najee Marshall to go over 17.5 points. He's really emerged with Cooper Flagg out, and he's averaging 21 points over their last 5 games. Past that, he's one of the most talented offensive guards in the league. I'm confident Najee will average 18 for a season at some point in his career. Lock it in. In our next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Lakers in Phoenix taking on Phoenix Suns. Lakers are minus 200 on the money line, and the total is 219. With Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks out, I'm not high on the Suns in the near future. The Lakers obviously have some issues themselves, specifically with depth, but with the Suns this short-handed, the Lakers should be able to dominate. I hate to do it to you guys because he didn't cash last game, but I have to run back my favorite play in this game. I'm taking Luka Doncic to go over 30.5 points. Like I mentioned, the Lakers' biggest problem is their depth, but the reason they're favorited in a matchup like this is the fact that they have the best player on the floor. This guy's a killer, averaging 32.5 points on the season, and if the Lakers want to win this game, they'll need 30 from their superstar. Lock it in. In our next matchup, we have the New Orleans Pelicans in Utah taking on Utah Jazz. Pelicans are minus 185 on the money line, and the total is 242.5. The injury situation for Utah just keeps getting worse. Of course, Walker Kessler and Triple J are out for the season, but tonight, Keontae George, Vince Williams, and Yusuf Nurkic are all ruled out. Then Lauri Markkanen is listed as questionable. The main thing I've noticed in this matchup is the Pelicans usually handle business when they're laying points. They're currently 6-3 against the spread as favorites. Not a ton jumping off the page in this one, but I do think the Pels win it by 6. I'm taking the Pelicans laying the 5 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves in LA taking on LA Clippers. Wolves are minus 220 on the money line, and the total is 225.5. The last couple years, the Clippers definitely have played their best basketball at home, but that hasn't really been the case this season. They're currently 12-14 against the spread at home, mediocre at best. The Timberwolves come into this game at full strength. In my mind, they have the advantage in both starting lineup and their bench. Kawhi Leonard is listed as questionable. I say we jump the injury news and lay the points now. Even if he plays, the Clippers don't have the depth to keep up. I'm taking the Timberwolves laying the 6 as my last and final selection. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'm now 82-60 on every game played in February. We've only got a few days left in the month, so let's make sure we end it with a bang. I appreciate the support so much. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Yo! And until the next one, I'ma catch y'all. Peace.